Ladies and gentlemen, me, myself, the two of us, would like to be serious. That's long enough. You see, folks, I ran away from home when I was 2. I had to, it was on fire. My late father, who lives down the road, was known as the Magnificent Alf. Fire eater extraordinary. And one day was accidentally killed by a careless chimney sweep. Soon after he was tragically killed, he left the circus. But I carried on the tradition and I ran away to join the Moscow State Circus. Unfortunately, I was a bit cross-eyed. I finished up with Jerry Cottle's circus in Bradford. And every night I used to jump from a high diving board 60 foot up and land in a damp sock. One summer's night, the sock was dried out. And I dived. Despite the frantic efforts of surgeons and doctors, I survived. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I got a performing dog. I was called Educated Dog. No, I was called Educated Jim and his performing dog. Yes. I'd say, Rover, come here. What's 2 and 2? And he used to go, woof, woof. Woof, woof. He never got it right once. And one night the ringmaster came up. He said, tonight we're going to fire you out of the cannon. I said, what for? He said, we don't like you. And ladies and gentlemen, I came hurtling out of that cannon. But I didn't hurt myself. I landed on my head. But when I think of those great circus acts I work with, the Dangerfield brothers, lion tamers, one night there was only one of them. He opened the lion's mouth. He said, Fred, I'll have you out of there in no time. And Captain Herbert and his performing fleas. I saw him in the caravan once. He was crying his eyes out. A dog had run off with the act. Then there was a knife thrower. He was in the 3rd row, and he missed me by inches, ladies and gentlemen. And the Indian rope trick. This Indian would climb a rope and disappear. It was a con. He was really from Wigan. So tonight, to carry on the tradition of those great circus acts, I would like to perform for you tonight the famous homing sausages trick. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that there's nothing up my sleeve. I had my arm taken off 3 weeks ago. These sausages will be thrown stage right and go right round, circle the auditorium, and come right back stage left. Don't let me down. There's a good skin. Here we go.
Get that brick wall finished.
I'm not a bricklayer. You're taking advantage of me just because I failed to become the first man ever to reach the North Pole on a pogo stick.
Just finish that wall.
I told you I'm not a bricklayer.
Good morning, my son.
Good morning. I think it's the electricity bill.
Ah, all bills go to head office.
Oh, could you tell me how to get there from here?
Certainly, my son.
And how are we this morning, Mr. Osborne?
How are we? How are we? I'll tell you how we are. We're disgusted.
Well, I really am terribly sorry.
Call yourself a surgeon, you couldn't mend the leg of a coffee table.
I'm an FRCS.
Yeah. First-rate clog head of a surgeon. Useless.
Well, we're really human. We all make mistakes.
Mistakes? Look at me. Hello, Mummy? Yeah. Oh, yes. No, it's okay. I've just eaten. I went to a Chinese restaurant. It was called the House of Seven Dragons. I thought it was a funny name until I saw the waitresses. Yeah, I had had some bird's nest soup. Never again, Mammy. I fell out of the tree. The man next to me had noodles. No, it's not contagious. But I've never been in a place with so much smoke. I said to this fella, I said, it's very smoky. He said, I can't talk to you now, I'm a fireman. Anyway, how's Dad? He's what? He's got an ingrown toenail. Well, how bad is it? He can't get his cap on. Oh. He what, Mummy? He's got a new dog. It was a bit snappy. Oh. He said to the man behind the shop, it'll like me when it gets used to my smell. The man said, we all will. What breed is it, Mammy? A German Shepherd. It's very good. Since you bought it 3 weeks ago, you haven't seen one German Shepherd. Does it cost a lot to feed? Oh, it has meat once a day. But it hasn't eaten for a week. There's a postman strike. Well, listen, Mammy. Yeah, I got the rhubarb pie you sent. Listen, Mammy, next time, could you cut the rhubarb pie up? It was 3 feet long. I couldn't get it in the oven. Oh, the show's doing very well. Yeah. The viewing figures have gone up. The woman that watches had a friend with her last week. I have to go now. I'll see you later. Bye, Mommy. Bye. Good morning, my son.
I wonder if you can help me. We've had a report of a missing postman, and we've reason to believe he called here.
That is so, my son?
Might I ask if you know where he went?
Yes. He went to head office.
Oh, could you tell me as to how I could get there from here?
Certainly, my son.
Hello, Sam.
Miss Elsa, well, I never expected to see you here.
Where is he, Sam?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Where is Rick?
Elsa,
Rick?
of all the gin joints and all the towns in the world, and you had to walk into mine.
Excuse me? I ordered egg, sausage and chips half an hour ago.
Get lost.
Play it, Sam. Play as time goes by.
I don't remember it, Miss Elsa. I'm a little rusty on it.
I'll hum it for you. Da, 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 da.
No, you've got it wrong.
The boss is right. It goes.
Neither of you got a clue. It goes like this.
No, that's the football program.
Excuse me? How much longer do I have to wait for my egg, sausage and chips?
Beat it.
Right.
I've remembered it now. It goes da 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 da.
No.
That's from My Fair Lady. Listen, I got it.
No, that's not the one.
I think I know how it goes.
Yeah, but who asked you?
But he might know, Rick.
It goes da 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 da.
Now you've got the wrong film.
You're all wrong. I know the tune he means.
Go ahead, sister. Get your pennyworth then.
It goes. Da 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 da.
You're a mile out, sweetheart. Why don't you mind your own business?
Excuse me? How much longer have I got to wait for my egg, sausage and chips?
On your back, sailor.
Right.
I've got it now.
So have I.
I got it. The one you've on.
I think I know it.
Listen, I'm trying to here.
Excuse me, I'm fed up. I'm not staying for my egg, sausage and chips. I'm going to that cafe down the road.
come with you.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, while you've been away having a break, I've just been reading the letter from my mammy this week. Oh, it's great. She says, "Dear Jimmy, I have applied for a council flat as the stairs are getting too much for me. 3 times this week going to bed, I've dropped your father. He fell down the stairs last week on his own, carrying 24 bottles of Guinness. He didn't spill a drop. He kept his mouth closed. He had one of those dreams the other night. He dreamt he was Wyatt Earp, rounding up a baddie and putting him in prison. When I woke up the next morning, I was locked in the cupboard." "Yesterday, he fell asleep in front of the fire with his mouth open, and I let the budgie out. The surgeon said he'd operate just as soon as your father stops saying, 'Who's a pretty boy?' and comes down from the curtain rail. Your Uncle John had a nightmare 2 weeks ago, fell out of bed, down the stairs, somebody left the door open, and he nearly drowned. He's left his job as a night watchman in a lighthouse. Last week, your father went to see a Steve Davis giving a demonstration at the local billiard hall. Steve was doing a trick shot with 3 balls. Unfortunately, your father had fallen asleep on the front row with his mouth open. The surgeon has had a look at the X-ray and says that he can't operate on your father as he is snookered. Nothing seems to be going right for us lately. I got my new false teeth, and they're too big because they don't fit in the glass. Your Auntie Nora was in the supermarket the other day, and she accidentally fell into the deep freezer. When she got home, it took your Uncle John 4 hours to get the sprouts out of her ears with a blow lamp. It was the frozen pea stuck up her nose that did it. She sneezed and nearly killed the canary. That's all for now. Love, Mammy. P.S. This afternoon, young Tommy called in and we had a game of table tennis. Unfortunately, your father was asleep in the armchair with his mouth open. Your father sat up with his face bright red and the eyes piping out of his head. Tommy was very upset as he was winning 2019. Good morning, my son.
I'm Detective Inspector Harris. I'm carrying out monastery to monastery inquiries. I have reason to believe that a police officer called here earlier to ask about a postman who called here earlier. Both postman and police officer have subsequently disappeared. Can you throw any light on the matter?
It is true. They both called here this morning, and they both went to head office.
Ah. Have you any idea how I could get there?
Certainly, my son.
Can I help you, sir?
Cameras?
Any particular type of camera, sir, had in mind?
No, I've never had a camera before.
Really?
I did have one once when I was about 14, but I was hopeless. I couldn't use it properly. I was at the seaside. I turned it back to front and took 16 close-ups of my operation.
Any particular make Sir had in mind?
A Yamaha.
That's a motorbike.
Oh, a bit heavy around the neck.
You see, you need professional help. Has Sir ever thought of a camera with a long-distance lens?
No, what would that camera do?
Well, take perfect photographs of objects and people at a great distance. I have the very latest model with a zoom lens. If, Sir would like to see for himself?
Oh. You mean all I do is look into this and I can see for long distances? Mm-hmm. Oh. Thank you. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I saw it through the camera.
Huh?
I saw the Statue of Liberty. Well, that's past Rochdale. I don't believe it.
Try again.
I will. I saw him.
Him?
The President of the United States.
Amazing.
He was waving to me.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't even know the man. I just can't understand it.
President still there, sir?
Yeah, and he waved to me. He's a very friendly man. He isn't there now. He must have gone into the wash house in Whitington. Incredible, the president waving to me. I waved back, you know. I didn't want to spoil the relationship between our two countries.
You're very diplomatic, sir.
Hollywood.
Are you suggesting that that camera would take photographs of people and places in Hollywood?
Yeah, where all the big film stars are.
No harm in trying.
I'll go a bit closer, because Hollywood's a bit further away. Might be able to see Hollywood now.
I'd be very surprised.
I'll give it a try. I don't believe it. I saw him, Paul Newman.
Amazing.
Yeah, the Hollywood film star. I don't believe it. Popeye the Sailor Man. I knew he wasn't a cartoon. He must be making a film with Paul Newman. Butch Cassidy and the Popeye Kid. I must have one of these cameras. How much are they, please?
Just £200, sir.
Oh, do you take credit?
Certainly, sir.
Oh.
Brother. We've had many callers here today.
We have indeed, Father Abbot.
And what was the reason for their visits to our humble little domicile?
Each wanted to know the way to head office.
And you sent them there?
I did indeed, Father Abbot.
I see. In that case, I think you ought to join them, brother.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's the end of the show. And I've got to hurry up because the ice cream man wants his coat back. And a special thank you to our studio audience who left 15 minutes ago. To everybody at home, thank you for watching. I'd like to leave you on a great song. It's called Misty. Thank you. Look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree. And it looks like I'm clinging to a star. I can't understand. I'm too misty